Myself, Dr. Prashant Baburao Kharat. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Physics, Vinayak Vidanyan Mahavidyalaya, Nandgaon Khandeshwar, District Amravati. I am here to present my research work entitled Cobalt Ferrite Nanofluid, an efficient medium for heat transfer and biomedical applications. The first outline of the presentation is introduction, experimental, characterizations, results, and discussion, summary, and conclusions. Introduction. Magnetic nanofluids, also are known as ferrofluids, are a stable colloidal dispersion of nanotized from 1 to 100 nanometer sized ferromagnetic particles in carrier liquids. It makes them unique fluids with magnetic properties. The physical properties of these nanofluids can be tuned by varying the magnetic field. Spinel ferrite's nanoparticles proved their potential to use in magnetic nanofluid due to strong superparamagnetic nature. Magnetic nanofluids have many applications in various sectors such as medical, biological, electronics devices, optical devices, art and heat transfer applications, etc. Among these applications in the present work, we have focused on heat transfer and biological applications of magnetic nanofluid. Usually, the thermal conductivity of liquids is low while that of solid materials has high. So, the dispersion of solid material exhibits enhanced heat transfer properties. For biomedical applications, the material should be simply degradable, less toxic, and effective for a specific area. So, spinel ferrites are able to fulfill these requirements with their superparamagnetic behavior for targeting specific areas by applying an external magnetic field. Why nanoparticles are better? Nanoparticles have about 20% of their atoms near the surface, allowing them to absorb and transfer heat efficiently. Microparticles have most of their atoms far beneath the surface where they cannot participate in heat transfer. Experimental work. Cobalt ferrite nanoparticles used in the present study are synthesized by the chemical co-precipitation technique. Cobalt ferrite ethylene glycol nanofluids of various concentrations 0 to 1% have been synthesized by ultrasonically assisted two-step technique. Thermo-physical investigations are made on the nanofluids at different temperatures ranging from 20 degrees to 80 degrees Celsius. Results and discussion on cobalt ferrite nanoparticles and cobalt ferrite ethylene glycol nanofluids. Structural, morphological and elemental properties of cobalt ferrite nanoparticles. We have characterized our sample with the X-ray diffraction technique. The X-ray diffraction pattern reveals that the sample belongs to the spinel structure with all related peaks. We have calculated average crystalline size nearly 11.43 nanometer with the help of Scherer's formula. Morphology of the prepared samples was analyzed by using the scanning electron microscopy, and particles were observed in spherical in nature and particle distribution were obtained in 24 to 43 nanometer by ImageJ software. We also done an elemental analysis of the prepared sample, and EDS pattern reveals that there is no impurity present in the sample and all three components, which are cobalt, ferric, and oxygen, were found in stoichiometric ratio. Thermo-physical properties. A colloidal suspension of magnetic nanoparticle into the base fluid can adjust the thermo-physical properties to the desired requirement. The thermo-physical properties mainly comprise thermal conductivity, viscosity, heat capacity, and density. Thermal conductivity and viscosity play a vital role to enhance the convection heat transfer, especially in magnetic nanofluids. Magnetic nanofluids, which are also sensitive to temperature, are severely depending on the thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity of the prepared cobalt ferrite ethylene glycol nanofluids were recorded by KD2 Pro thermal conductivity meter, and the thermal conductivity was observed the enhancement with the nanoparticle volume fraction and the temperature. The maximum enhancement was observed at 1 volume fraction and 80 degrees Celsius, which is 29.34%. Specific heat capacity was observed by DSE, and it is decreasing with nanoparticles volume fraction and increasing with the increase of temperature. Viscosity was recorded by Brookfield's viscometer, and it was increased with increasing nanoparticle concentration and decreases with increasing temperature also. Density was recorded by specific gravity bottles, and it was increased with increasing nanoparticle concentration and decreases with increasing temperature. Hyperthermia therapy. Hyperthermia, also called thermal therapy or thermotherapy, is a type of cancer treatment in which body tissue is exposed to high temperatures. Research has shown that high temperatures can damage and kill cancer cells, usually with minimal injury to normal tissues. By killing cancer cells and damaging proteins and structures within cells, hyperthermia may shrink tumors. Hyperthermia is under study in clinical trials, research studies with people, and is not widely available. Magnetization, MH loop. The magnetic properties were recorded by a vibrating sample magnetometer and the MH loop was plotted. The prepared sample was observed high saturation magnetization value in the order of 83.44 EMU per gram. And other parameters also showed in the graph. Prepared cobalt ferrite is exhibited near supermagnetic behavior shown in the MH loop. Induction heating. Induction heating was measured at BRC Mumbai by the induction heating system in the presence of 220 OE for various volume fractions from 0.2 to 1, and it is revealed that the cobalt ferrite nanoparticles have the potential to enhance the temperature above 42 degrees Celsius, which is required hyperthermia temperature in a small time shown in the graph. Clinical trials on mouse of magnetic nanofluids. This is the example of a clinical trial of hyperthermia therapy on mice reported in the Journal of Theranostics. Summary and conclusion. Cobalt ferrite nanoparticles were synthesized successfully. A stable colloidal of cobalt ferrite, ethylene glycol, were prepared. The thermal conductivity measurements showed that the maximum enhancement of 29.34% is achieved at 1% volume fraction and at 80 degrees Celsius. Induction heating rate increases along with the time at the constant magnetic field and 50 degrees Celsius in a 1% volume fraction. Acknowledgement. Lastly, I acknowledge institutes those support to me for the characterizations provided. Thank you.